Hello everyone, I'm Jake and this is Legend News and we are continuing our New York Toy Fair coverage. Again, like last time, Waffle Cat ain't here with me and that just means much more work on me as I have to do all this by myself. But I mean, it's fun, there's a lot of cool stuff to cover and I'm super excited for a bunch of the things in this portion of the video, whereas the front portion was more of not as much fun stuff. This portion is where all the better stuff is, in my opinion, and I'm super excited to cover it because there's a couple figures in this part that I really, really like so much more than what I had to cover in the last, part one part. You know, that had the cool Studios wave. If you remember, there was the rest of the Deadpool wave too, with the build a figure of the giant pterodactyl man with Deadpool in his underwear and Bishop. I think that should round out the wave. That's 6 figures. I think that might round out the wave. I think there might be one more. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that wave is completely announced. And we are going to get into a few newer waves and some other Marvel Legends stuff covered starting now. So here we have 2 figures from a SPDR wave. He's like a giant mech Spider-Man. But anyway, here we have Kane, which is probably my favorite figure from all of this to be announced. He's going to have an alternate head. He has needles sticking straight out of his needles, and he looks awesome. Needles sticking straight out of his wrists, and he looks awesome. I think he's probably the better of the figures we're getting, and he looks really cool. And well, all this attention on this awesome guy, and I'm not even paying attention to Dr. Octopus. Look at this dude. Sadly, those tentacles aren't bendy wire. That was talked about over some coverage by some other people. Those aren't bendy wire. Those are sculpted in. I think they have all the same peg sizes, so you can shift them around between the 4 pegs depending on which one you want where. And I'm actually excited to have this figure because Doc Ock is probably my favorite Spider-Man villain. It's hard to admit that, but yeah, he's probably my favorite. It's probably him actually. He's probably my favorite. And these 2 figures, awesome. I'm very excited to have both these figures, and I'm probably gonna get both of them honestly. Here we have Cloak and Dagger and House of M Spider-Man. Let's get to the first 2, and then we'll cover Spider-Man. Cloak and Dagger are awesome, and I have liked them since I met them in the Ultimate Universe with Miles Morales. These 2 are really cool. I'm very excited to see that cool effect part, which could hopefully be reused one day for a Gambit figure. No spoiler there, I promise. And we have this cool Cloak figure, which is awesome. He has a body under that, but you can just take it off if you want to recreate some more comic accurate poses and stuff with him in just his cloak, sucking people in, pushing them out, whatever he does. And I think these 2 might be a 2-pack. I'm not sure. I would hope they would be separate. But then again, that's kind of like saying you want a peanut butter sandwich and a jelly sandwich separate. You got to have them both together. And these 2 would be awesome as a 2-pack, but I think that just kind of make the wave harder to get. And then we have the House of M Spider-Man, which looks like he has a new web effect. I might be wrong there, but if I'm correct, that's new, and I think that's actually part of the figure's accessories. For those of you who don't know, House of M is an alternate reality created by Scarlet Witch, where mutants are the reigning family. Magneto, her father, is the king, and her family's pretty much royalty. And Spider-Man, even though he's not a mutant, acts like one in this universe, and this is a pretty cool costume design. The body kind of looks like Spider-Punk's, if I'm correct. That's what it kind of looks like. And that web effect, it's nice to see Hasbro doing that, but I kind of think they could have done something where it plugs into the hand more instead of wrapping around his wrist. Because it's nice. Glad to see it, but not very practical. Here we have the Build-A-Figure of said Spider-Man wave. This is SPDR. He's a giant mechanical Spider-Man with it's a spider suit pretty much. He's from the Spider-Verse, and he's pretty cool. Not exactly sure what he is or who he does or any of that. Not who he does. That sounded really wrong. Not exactly sure what he does, but he's pretty cool. And I think it's a pretty cool looking figure and definitely big enough to be a Build-A-Figure. Finally. And pretty cool, pretty neat. 2 Build-A-Figures already announced, and this one's my favorite of the 2. Then here we have some updated pictures. If you remember, first video, I think, or it might have been second, we covered the Venom Wave announcements, and you can see here that we were right. We're getting an unmasked Eddie Brockhead, and we're also getting an unmasked Cletus Cassidy, both of which look cool, although I do have to admit I'm slightly leaning towards the Venom head looking cooler, but the Carnage is still the better figure in my opinion, but the Eddie Brockhead just looks better, I guess. I don't know yet. These 2 pictures aren't really good at it, and from the videos I've seen, they both look good, but at the same time, I'm slightly leaning towards Eddie Brockhead over Cletus Cassidy. Here we also have other two figures from this wave. I think that's Poison and that's Scream over there. The girl on the right is Scream. I don't know who the left one is. I think it's Poison. But happy to see Scream. It's pretty cool to actually get her. She's a symbiote I've known for a while. You know, read about her in the Venom comic books. And the other guy over there, he looks pretty cool. I thought it was Anti-Venom at first, but yeah, he looks cool too. Both of which are awesomely designed and stuff, and both of which are really good for this wave. I don't know if I'd ever get either of them. I might get Scream over here, but yeah, pretty cool figures. It'd be cool if she had a yellow version of that Carnage axe we're getting, because she reminds me more about Carnage than any of the others. And yeah, I like the little effects you have over there on the left coming out of the spider. That's pretty cool. Here we have Spider Ham. I think he's in this wave. He might be part of the SPDR wave, but as you can see, he doesn't look like he has much posability below that waist swivel, you know? You get a lot of posability in the arms. It looks like his head will obviously have posability, but below the waist, it looks like that's a solid piece. And over here on the right, you can see he does come with this pork rind head. He comes with a pork rind head. I don't know if that's a spoiler for, hey, this is the Build-A-Figure of the wave, which would be pretty cool, honestly. Because if it's an alternate head, I don't think it really fits with the rest of the little body. And then there's some other spider people over here, spider hams over here, which I could picture them reusing this body mold for, Spider Ham 2099, Scarlet Spider, Miles Morales, and the Spider Woman. It'd be pretty cool. Obviously, she'd have to have a different body mold, but I could see them reusing this body mold. And here we have the rest of the Apocalypse wave, which I honestly think is pretty cool. We get the Tiger Striped Wolverine, we get the Storm with the Mohawk, and here we have Marvel Now Magneto and Sabretooth. And honestly, I like the Marvel Now Magneto. It's not the ideal design, though. I wish he had the more solid white armor with the black outline and stuff. I think that looks cooler, but this looks pretty good. And he also has those lightning effects that we've seen with the Storm, but just painted purple. Sabretooth over here is more of a design from the 90s cartoon to better match the Wolverine that we're also getting in this wave. Bunch of cool mutants, and it's a cool wave altogether. I really like it, and I'm definitely probably going to get that Magneto. Just, it looks cool. We also have this 2-pack, which was announced. It's also, I think it's a Toys R Us exclusive, which I'm really happy they announced this, because there's honestly no hope they'd ever give us another Killmonger figure, because everyone wants that unmasked head, and there was no way they were going to give us another one unless they did this. We have Eric Killmonger with a different design. It doesn't exactly look like the movie one. It somewhat looks like a fusion between movie one and a more comic inspired version. I know in the comics he doesn't ever wear a suit like this, but I think it's kind of a fusion as if he wasn't comics or the movie. Can't tell. It doesn't really look like the other Marvel Legends. The head's nice. I have a feeling that's probably going to be the biggest selling point of this thing is the Killmonger. But over here we have the Ross. It's not Ross from the Hulk, but he's pretty cool. I like that pistol we're getting. I think that's a new mold. And it's nice to see a suit, another formal suit. He's cool. I don't know what these guys are like in the movie. I haven't seen that yet. I will soon. And yeah, that honestly about covers it for this video. I mean, talked about a lot of stuff, a lot of new announcements from New York Toy Fair, some of which I really like, and other of which are just kind of mediocre. We got the Marvel Studios 10-year pack. There's some other ones that I didn't have time to edit in here. I started this thing before I saw those, and it's a Red Skull. He comes with Hydra stuff, Hydra soldier parts, so you can make different Hydra soldiers. There's an Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket 2-pack, which kind of messed with our top 10 video because we had to take Yellow Jacket out and rework pretty much the whole top 5. And the Silver Surfer's pretty neat. I like how we're finishing off the Fantastic Four. I love the Kane figure and the Doc Ock. Those two are must-buys for me. The Venom wave is looking to shape out pretty nice. I like how we're getting a Bishop with the Deadpool wave. That's probably the best part of this Deadpool wave is it's a way for them to give us mutant characters they otherwise probably would never put out. They're not tied to the X-Men directly nowadays. They're not working right now. They don't have a solo comic of their own. So this Deadpool wave is these Deadpool waves, I should say, are kind of the best way for them to fit in mutants. Plus, I mean, let's be honest, everyone's going to be buying Deadpool till the day he's, no longer in existence. Well, I'm Jake. This has been Legend News. Stick around, and we'll be back with more news next week probably, and if not, we might have some special video. I'm Jake. Thanks for watching Legend News, and hopefully Waffle Cat will be back next time. See you guys later.